Ekurhuleni Mayor Tania Campell faces a motion of no confidence at today's council sitting. This latest motion has been tabled by the ANC and the EFF along with 7 smaller parties. Now, last year, Campbell was ousted but reinstated just 2 weeks later. Meanwhile, the ANC Youth League is also marching to the council offices today and are demanding opportunities for young people. eNCA's Pule Letshwiti-Jones is there and joins us now with the very latest. Good morning, Pule. So today, we will hear the motion of no confidence against Mayor Tania Campell. Sounds like deja vu. Talk to us about this.
It definitely does sound like deja vu. Remember, in October, the mayor here in Ekurhuleni, Tania Campell, was ousted, but a week later, she was reinstated once again after the EFF and the ANC didn't see eye to eye. But what we're expecting today, again, is the normal council procedure to be taking place. But on the agenda, you have that item which speaks to a motion of no confidence against the mayor. We do understand that the ANC, EFF, and the other minority parties under the umbrella of the Super 7 have the numbers. So it's most likely that that motion will succeed and that Tania will be removed. But in context, we also now understand that the horse trading has begun between the AIC and the ICM, where a mayor could come from the minority parties as well. This all comes just a day after we now understand that one of the PR councillors from Action SA, Ekurhuleni Council, who's been linked to being close to Bongani Baloyi as well, who will be joining the movement. Bongani Baloyi resigned from the party yesterday. But for more context around what impact this has on the city, we are joined by Pagamile, who's the head of communication in Ekurhuleni. Thanks, Pagamile, for joining us this morning. Just briefly, if you can take us through, maybe let's just start with that resignation from Museki. Has it been confirmed? Will the city manager declare vacancy in council?
Yeah, good morning, Pule, and good morning to your viewers. Yes, we have had notice of the resignation. I think the city manager is going to apply a mind and then we'll do the following processes like declaring a vacancy.
And then just in regards to the transitioning of new mayors, we saw last year in October, Campbell being ousted and reinstated. Now we may be seeing a new mayor being elected. What does this mean for the city?
Look, no one likes political instability. It's not good for the city, our reputation, and the administration. However, we are fortunate to have a very capable city manager in Dr. Imogen Mashazi, and she's been able to steer the ship through these uncertain times. You will remember that even through COVID and some of this instability, the city manager was able to secure a 3rd consecutive clean audit opinion. In terms of our finances, we're still afloat, and she's doing a great job at keeping the administration in line, apolitical, and just getting service delivery done, abate of all the politics that's happening in the background.
But definitely, when you speak about service delivery, there's been issues as well that cannot be ignored, especially with the waste collection issue, and of course some areas such as in Benoni complaining about not having water as well. What's the situation there? What's the update?
Look, I think it's a good opportunity to update the residents of Ekurhuleni. As they may know that the city had terminated the contract with the former head of department. The city manager appointed an acting head and a special task team to get waste management back on track. We had some issues with our many dump sites. Those have all been cleared. There was an issue with the contractor who wasn't performing. We are in the process of cancelling that contract, and now we're going to get back up to speed. Another focus point we have is that we're going to be targeting Tembisa and Katlehong and dealing with some of the illegal dumping there. In terms of water, there's some issues with Rand water, and just as a city, we are very concerned that the communication lines aren't that clear. And, it's hard for us to communicate to our residents when we don't know what's happening in the background. However, we are working to stabilize water in our reservoirs.
But who's the fault coming from? Is it your side as well in terms of communication? Because it seems as though this has been going on for quite some time now.
Look, as government, we always work in the spirit of cooperative governance. So we're not going to talk about blame. We're going to talk about how we can improve communication between the city and Rand Water so we can communicate to our residents on what's happening.
Okay, and what are the timelines? Do you know what the timelines are?
Look, there's no timelines. It's ongoing. Our job is to deliver. So we can't say we're going to start tomorrow or whenever. Every day after council today, we get back into our offices and we do the work of service delivery.
All right, so just after the mayor has been elected, do we then see the new mayoral committee as well coming in?
Look, that's if. We don't know what's going to happen in council, but just in terms of legislation, there's a 10-day period where if there is a newly elected mayor, they have a chance to decide who they're going to put in the mayoral committee.
Okay, and then just lastly, how's the agenda looking like? Do we know if the motion will be the first one or it's going to be just below all the items after they've been presented in council?
As you stated in your intro, it is an ordinary council agenda. So usually we have our items that are just lined up on the agenda, and then at the end we'll deal with the motions. But we'll see what happens inside.
Thank you very much. Of course, he speaks on behalf of the city. They're just laying what kind of repercussions does this have on the city, particularly residents, most importantly, when we keep on seeing the mayor coming into office, the mayor being ousted, new speaker being ousted. It seems as though this instability, of course, does have a ripple effect on the ongoing activities that may speak to service delivery in this metro. But to remember, Mfundo, just a few months ago, the Premier, of course, in his capacity as the ANC chairperson in Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi, made it clear that the EFF would get the speaker position, ANC would gun for the chief whip position, and the minority parties would get the mayoral chain as well, just like what we're seeing in the city of Johannesburg.
All right, Pule, we'll leave it there for now and catch up with you a bit later on once council is in session. That's our reporter, Pule Letshwiti-Jones, out in Ekurhuleni for us this morning.